Okay, everyone, welcome to Koilul Kol Shira, partnership with Breslov.org, and of course, Yeshiva Teres Shimon. Baruch Hashem, I welcome all our listeners and all that will listen to the recording later. Okay, this week is Parshat Shoftim. Okay, we're in Chodesh Elul, Baruch Hashem. We are within the 40 days till Yom Kippur. Okay, so every day really counts. We're in the 49 days till Parshas Nitzavim till Rosh Hashanah, and that's the 7 weeks of the Zion and Nechemta. And this week's parsha is going to be the fourth. Shoftim is the fourth of the 7 weeks that we have the Haftorahs that give us the Nechama. We were just learning this morning in the Likutei Halachos. I just wanted to say that the first one of the first Shabbos of the 7 weeks of Nechama is, of course, Shabbos Nachamu, and of course the pasuk says Nachamu Nachamu Ami Yomer Lekeichem. So we learned today something so beautiful in the Likutei Halachos. What does it mean Nachamu Nachamu? Who's giving the Nechama? What is the Nechama? Where is the Nechama? Think about it. The Beis Hamikdash is still destroyed. So where's our Nechama? The Navi says Nachamu Nachamu Shkoyach. But where's the Nechama? So the Nechama is that we have the knowledge of what Moshe Rabbeinu gave us. That Meloi Chol Aretz Kavodai. And we have to remember that. Meloi Chol Aretz Kavodai. HaKadosh Baruch Hu fills the entire world with His glory. No matter where a person has gone, no matter where he's fallen, no matter to what corner the person is in the earth, from that place, that person can turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because Hashem is there. Hashem is everywhere in the world. Hashem is there. He can be found and accessed at any time. The Shulchan Aruch begins, Shivisi Hashem L'negdi Summit. The premise of before any of halacha is to know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always there. Okay, that's something nice, and we have to give the nechama to each one of us. Like we say in the Volatzia, min dein ledein. We have to, each one has to help out the other one and give them this knowledge that no matter what you're going through in life.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. Yes. No matter what you're going through in life, remember that Hashem is there with you. And our friends give us back that information, and to keep reminding us that. I know it sounds so simple, but the problem is when we get so bogged down with life, sometimes we forget that the problem, whatever we're dealing with, is actually coming from Hashem. It's not the person, it's not the bill that you got. The bill came because Hashem wanted you to get it. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted you to get it. This person called you and told you that Hashem tests you to remind us all the time that Hashem is Meloi Chol Aretz Kavodai. Hashem fills the world with His glory no matter where we are. It's such an important principle to understand. Now, let's talk about the Parsha. Parshat Shoftim is such a rich Parsha. There's so many mitzvahs in Parshat Shoftim. It's unbelievable. I mean, there's so many mitzvahs. But let's go over the main points of the Parsha, and then we'll see some things inside with a lot of siyata d'shmaya. So first, the Torah tells us, Shoftim v'shoitrin titein l'chol b'chol sharecha v'shoftu asab mishpat tzedek. We know you should appoint officers, you should appoint judges and officers in all your gates. Rashi tells us in every city should have judges and they should have officers. The judges are the one that make the law, and then the officers are those that go out and carry out the laws. Shoftim v'shoitrim. You have to have both. Okay, that's a very, very important thing, and of course, it's teaching the judges that they can't take sheichat. The judges can't take bribes. If the judges take bribes, it'll cloud their judgment. It'll cloud their judgment, and they will not be able to judge properly. All right. Now we also talk about in here the leadership roles. right? The parsha outlines the roles of various leaders, including the judges, like we said, the Shoftim, kings, the laws of kings, and the Kohanim and Nevi'im, right? Each one of these leaders has a specific responsibility and their limitations, right? And we have to remember that each one has their specific duties and they have their limitations. Okay, now let's talk about the king for a second. So the Torah tells us that we can appoint a king, right? Again, if we have a king, the same way HaKadosh Baruch Hu teaches us, Kabides Avicha v'yesi mecha l'man yibru yimechem alo adama. Why? Because if we understand that we have a father, so that teaches us that we have to honor a father, so that teaches us that we have to honor the Rabbeinu Shalom. So too, if we have a king, a melech basa v'dam, and we have to treat the king with respect. So of course we understand it's a mashal for the nimshal. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the melech malchei amlochim, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu allows us to have a king, so we have some kind of a relationship with the king, so we could recognize the king. Now it's a Chodesh Elul. The Sfarim will tell us, specifically the Balatanya, that the melech is basada. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is very, very easily accessed now. It's very easy to access the Rabbeinu Shalom now. And many have asked, what is the difference between Chodesh Elul and then Chodesh Tishrei? Well, Chodesh Elul, the time that we are in now, is the time when we can access the king and we can become friendly with the king. And we can ask the king for forgiveness. We don't want to wait till Rosh Hashanah. Right, because when it comes to Rosh Hashanah, it says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yoshev Akisei Din. He's sitting on his throne of judgment. At that time, you want to already have had it in good with the king before the judgment. You don't want to wait till the last minute, right? So that's what this time, Chodesh Elul, these days are such precious days. We hear the shofar every morning to wake us up to do tshuva. Uru yeshenim mishinaschem. Oh, you sleepy ones, wake up from your spiritual slumber. Wake up from your spiritual slumber. Come back to the Rabbeinu Shalom. Okay, that's the idea of the king. We're supposed to have a king, and the king, of course, has to be a Jew. The king can't be from someone from the nations of the world. He has to be a Jewish person, and the king should not have too many wives. The king also has the responsibility of writing a Torah scroll. The king has to write his own Torah scroll, and he has to study with it. David HaMelech wrote 2 Torah scrolls. He had one that he wrote, and he had another one attached to his arm. David HaMelech had a Torah scroll that was so small that he attached it to his arm, and everywhere he went, he took this Torah with him. David HaMelech had a Torah with him all the time. When he went out to battle, wherever he went, he took that Torah with him. Okay, that's the king has to write his own Torah. The limitations of the king, he shouldn't have too many horses, right? Why? Because the best horses, the Arabian Nights, are found in Egypt, and the Torah tells us, do not return back to Egypt, right? Don't have too many horses, don't have too many wives, and not too much wealth, right? The king should not have too much wealth. Why? If a person has too much wealth, it gets to his head, he'll think he's better than somebody else. And the king has to recognize that he has an neshama just like everyone else has an neshama. The fact that he got the job to be the king, that was granted to him by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It wasn't anything that he necessarily did. This was granted to him by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The same way we see it when it came to Shmuel HaNavi, right? He inaugurated Shaul HaMelech, and then Shaul had made a mistake without wiping out the Melech Agag, who was the king at that time of Amalek, right? He was supposed to kill everyone and the animals and everything, but he didn't do that. Again, because Shaul HaMelech listened to Doeg, right? We learned about that, right? His advisor Doeg, and he said, well, it would be good for the coffers of the king to take the animals, and not only that, we'll be able to bring a lot of karbanas. So he didn't take with the word of the Navi, Shmuel HaNavi, for every word, every letter that he said, and because he did that, So he lost his malchus, and then David HaMelech was crowned. So again, we see the idea of the king has to follow exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, because he is the messenger from Hashem to be the Melech. So of course he has to do exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants him to do, the same way every one of us is responsible to do exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to do. Okay, now, the Torah goes on, and it gives us the guidelines for war. War. Right, what are we now? We're in the middle of our war. Right? The Parsha provides the guidelines for military conflicts, including the requirement to seek peaceful resolution whenever possible. Right? Seek peaceful resolution whenever possible. The war we're fighting today, there's no such a thing as peace. We just have to eradicate them. There's no way. There's no way to have peace. There is absolutely no way to have peace with these people. They have to just be eradicated. Okay, there's no such a thing as peace. Okay, there's a time that we have to make peace, like Shlomo Melech says in Koheles. There's a time for peace and there's a time for war. This is the time for war and for us to take care of business. Okay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give our leaders today the siyata d'shmaya that they should know what to do. All right, now next. Now, one of the things is the Torah teaches us about Bal Tashlis. When you go to war, right, you have the prohibition of destroying fruit trees. Don't destroy fruit trees. When you're laying siege against the city, why? Because those trees that you are going to save are the very trees that you're going to benefit by and eat the fruit from. So therefore, do not. Now we know in history there have been many cases, and people are always very scared to ever chas v'shalom cut down a fruit tree. Okay, we know that people have bought in properties, and there was a tree there, and they would not extend their house to take down a fruit tree. They would not do that. We know we have the bracha birchas ilonos when it comes to Chodesh Nisan, right? Any tree that's a fruit bearing tree that's blossoming, right? That's blossoming. You can make a bracha, right? We learned from the Arizal that there are certain neshamas that come back as reincarnations to trees, and therefore when we make that bracha of the Peiros Ilonis, when we make that bracha on the tree, we can release those neshamas that are trapped. Okay. Then we talk about the cities of refuge. So we had the Arei Miklat, right? The Sheish Arei Miklat, the 6 cities. 3 cities were Me'eva Yarden that Moshe Rabbeinu established, right? In the chelik of Ruvain, Gad, and Chatzi Shevet Menashe, Me'eva Yarden. So he established 3. We established another 3 in Eretz Yisrael proper. So it goes over the establishment and the rules and the laws of the city of refuge. All right, and now we would know that if someone chas v'shalom committed manslaughter by mistake, it was not his fault, right? In other words, we know that sometimes Rashi tells us this. That there could have been a case where somebody had killed somebody and he got away with murder, right? He got away with murder and he never got punished for that. So he comes back as a Gilgal. And then there's another person now that's on a ladder, and he falls from the ladder. He drops his hammer from the ladder and he bops this guy in the head and he kills the guy. So then he took care of the punishment that this guy never got. Now he got tikkun for what he did. Oh, amazing things that go on regarding the city. Now, one of the rules of the city of refuge is that when the Kohen Gadol would pass away, the people in the city of refuge were free to go, and the Goyal Hadam was not allowed to kill them. Right? We had the Goyal Hadam was the person that's chasing after the one that performed that committed this manslaughter. He is the one that's trying to avenge the blood for the one that was killed. All right. As soon as he gets to into the gate of the Arei Miklat, he's not allowed to kill him. if this guy comes out, if he walks out of the city and the Goyal Adam is there, he can kill him. But as long as he's in the city, he can go, no, you can't catch me. And he cannot go into the city. He cannot harm him in that city. Now, we have to ask ourselves a question. What is going on here? Why is it that Kohen Gadol, why is it dependent on the Kohen Gadol? What did he do? What did the Kohen Gadol do that these people that committed the inadvertent murders, right? That committed these murders, they will go free because he passes away. You ever think of that? What does one have to do with the other? What does one have to do with the other? And we know Chazal tell us, the Gemara talks about it, that the mother of the Kohen Gadol would always bake nice chocolate chip cookies and nice cakes and prepare very nice foods for all of these people that were being protected in the city of refuge. Why? So that way they will daven for the well-being of the Kohen Gadol, because they love getting their nice snacks, they love getting their food, right? The mother of the Kohen Gadol would prepare for them nice, beautiful meals and prepare their nice, beautiful desserts, and they loved it. So they would daven for the well-being of the Kohen. But again, what did the Kohen Gadol do? So there's a beautiful understanding from Rav Dessler. He has a beautiful essay. Rav Dessler wrote a beautiful essay, and he says like this: really, the Kohen Gadol should be davening for everybody. It's the Kohen Gadol to pray for everybody, that under his time, under his watch, that no one should be killed accidentally. No one should be killed accidentally, because the Kohen Gadol didn't daven, because he didn't daven for the well-being of everybody, even the lowlifes. It doesn't matter. He has to daven for everybody. Everyone should be protected. Every Jew is important. Every single Jew is important. And the Kohen Gadol has to know that every single Jew is important. We learned in Likutei Halachos the idea that every Jew has a chelik elikam imal. He has a neshama inside them, right? He has a chelik elikam imal, a neshama inside them. So therefore, it's upon us to respect every single Jew. Every single Yid, it's upon us to respect. Why? Because when we respect a Jew, we're respecting HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You respect a Yid, you're respecting HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How beautiful that is. Okay, now, the Torah goes on to tell us, about the laws of Nevi'im, right? What a true Navi is, right? For how do you authenticate a Navi, right? Including the requirements that the prophets, he has his words. When the Navi speaks his words, he has to be speaking again the laws of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A Navi can't come up with anything that's not in the Torah. He's not allowed to do that. The Navi can only tell you law pertaining and to reinforce. The Navi's words are there to reinforce Torah's Moshe, to reinforce the 613 mitzvahs. The Navi doesn't come to give us a new mitzvah. Okay? And then the Torah goes on to tell us the consequences for a Navi Sheker. Right? For a Navi Sheker. It's very interesting that he's still called a Navi. Right? He's a Navi Sheker, but he's still called a Navi. Unbelievable. Okay, he's punished. Why? Because again, he could lead the Jewish people astray. A Navi Sheker can lead the Jewish people astray. Because of that, he has to be put to death. That's not exactly that. We do not accept that. We do not accept that at all. And then we have the Haftorah, the beautiful Haftorah this week, right, on Parshat Shoftim, which is the Navi Isaiah, which discusses the theme of redemption, that will have comfort in our land, and the ultimate fulfillment of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's promise to Amcha Beis Yisrael with the coming of Mashiach and the Binyan, with Binyan Bayis Shlishi B'Mheira V'Yameinu. Amen. Okay, so that's the Parsha in the nutshell, okay? Any questions on that? Do we understand all these things that we spoke about? Any questions, any comments or anything? No? We're good? Okay, very good. Okay, let's take a look now at something so beautiful from the Holy Kedushas Levi. The Holy Kedushas Levi, Levi Yitzchak ben Sarah Sasha, Zechus Yogen Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael. Okay, we know that the tzaddik Levi Yitzchak was known as the protector of Klal Yisrael. He always went to bat for Klal Yisrael. The Kedushas Levi loved the Rabbeinu Shalom so much, and he showed it through his love for Amcha Beis Yisrael. The Kedushas Levi loved every single Jew. It's amazing, mamish amazing. Look what he says on these words. Shoftim v'shoitrin titein b'chol sharecha v'shoftu es ha'om mishpat tzedek. Listen to every word. Dihine. HaKadosh Baruch Hu shofet es haKnesses Yisrael b'voy yoim ha'mishpat. We know HaKadosh Baruch Hu judges the Jewish people when it comes the day of judgment. When it comes Rosh Hashanah, Aseres Yemei Tshuva, Yom Kippur, of course, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is judging the people. Judging Amcha Beis, he's judging every person. But he does it, b'goydel rachama v'chasada. HaKadosh Baruch Hu judges us with a great a matter of compassion and mercy. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now, how does that happen? How do we get HaKadosh Baruch Hu to judge us with mercy and compassion? How do we get him to do that? Listen to these words. Ach yisarusa de lasater. We need to have an awakening down here. We need to do something down here. What do we need to do down here? La'oyer itay hamida shel rachmanis lemala. It's upon us, it's incumbent upon each one of us to awaken this rachmanis, this mercy, this kindness up on high. We can do this. This is very empowering. What can I do? What can I do? What can you do? What can each one of us can do in order to awaken this midah of chesed from Hashem? What do we do? Look what he says now. Kisha'anu lamata. Misnagim b'chesed umelamdim schus al ish mi Yisrael v'lidon likav schus. When we down here, if we can look at every single Jew and judge them favorably. We know that the Mishnah in Perek Yaveh says, "Al todna es chavercha ad shetegiya l'makay mai." Don't judge your friend until you come to his place. Is it possible for any one of us to come to anyone else's place and understand the parameters of anyone's life? Is it possible? I don't know about you fellas, but I'm trying to figure out the parameters of my own life. I'm trying to figure out all the things in my own family. I'm trying to figure out my own actions. And I'm going to go try to figure out somebody else's actions? It's impossible. Therefore, what should we do? What should we do? Judge everybody favorably. Judge everybody favorably. Because again, it's what do I gain? What do I gain by judging someone with a sense of harshness? What does that help me at all? Does it help me at all that he's going to get that I'm throwing the book at this guy? Does that help me? Does that help you? It doesn't help anybody. But says the Kedushas Levi, if we can be done as kol hakol lekav schus. So then we awaken this midah up on high. Again, we're learning the idea that we're trying to always connect the upper world with the lower world. There's the Darei Mala and the Darei Mata. We're trying to mend them together. We're learning all about that in the morning in Hilchas Netilas Yadayim in our series of Likutei Halachos Shiurim that we're learning. We're learning this idea that we have to constantly bring the two. So we're saying over here now, when I down here look at this Yid, I look at Beryl, and I saw Beryl did this and that and the other thing, and I want to say, oh, you look at this guy, he's such a terrible. No, I don't know what caused him to do it. It must be whatever caused him to do it is okay. He knows what he's doing. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I could say that. What's the difference? Why can't I say that? Why do I have to say the guy's guilty? What do I gain by that? When I can overcome my desire to judge him, to be guilty, and I can judge him favorably, so then I awaken that same midah upstairs for guess who? For you, for me. Don't we want to be judged favorably by HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Reb Mordechai, would you like to be judged favorably by Hashem? Yes, okay. So how do you do that? You judge people favorably. Judge people favorably, and then if you do that, we awaken the midah of chesed and mercy up on high. Umalamdim gam olav v'gam al kol zeri Yisrael chasodim. So we can cause HaKadosh Baruch Hu to look at every single Jew and judge every single Jew favorably if we turn it on down here. We turn it on down here. We judge everybody favorably. This is Rabbi Nachman's lesson in Reish Pei Bey's famous lesson, Azamra, right? Judge everybody favorably and judge yourself favorably also. That's the Chiddush. Judge yourself favorably. Many times we're very, very cruel on ourselves. We're very, come down very hard on ourselves. No, judge yourself favorably also. That doesn't mean you don't do tshuva. That doesn't mean you don't do tshuva. But judge yourself favorably. And you do tshuva. There's a time every day we spend an hour a day being his baibdus, talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and working out all our shortcomings. And making the din v'cheshbon. Of course we have to do that. But judge yourself favorably. Judge everybody favorably. When we do that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu in turn judges everybody favorably. How beautiful is that? In other words, it's very empowering. We can do this. Vim came. Ha'adam ma'oire be'uvda shelamata hashar ha'elyon. We down here, with our service of Hashem, we open up the gates up on high. Could you believe that? We down here, you and I, have the right opportunity to turn on the gate, open the gates of mercy in Shemayim via judging people favorably down here. Hal yeliftaya shar chesed laharik bracha al kol zera Yisrael, and should be bestowed upon every single Jew blessing. It's in a singular lashon. Shayftim v'shaytrim titein, shouldn't it be shayftim v'shaytrim titein lachem? To them, right? In plural. Shayftim v'shaytrim titein lacha? To you? B'chol sharecha, in all of your gates. What does that mean? Ratzalayma. Sha'ata ba'atzmecha. You yourself and I myself. Titakin v'tochen ha'mishpat. We are the ones that can establish the mishpat. Shel mala yedei sharecha, through our gates down here. Shehu asharim shelecha shata oisa ma'oire b'masecha. That you awaken with your actions. The Sfarim all say that it says Shayftim v'shaytim titein lecha. What is that? You know what that means? That we have to put judges and officers on all of our gates. What are our gates? The Sfarim say the gates are the gates in our head. We have the 7 openings in our head. You know you have 7 openings in your head? Right? You have 2 eyes, you have 2 ears, that's 4 openings. 2 openings from the nostrils is 6, and the mouth is 7. 7 openings. Shayftim v'shaytrim titein lecha b'chol sha'arecha. Put a judge and an officer on each one of those gates. On each one of those gates. Are you going to put an officer over what you're going to see? What am I going to see? I have to put a judge. Is this proper for me to see it? It's not. Then turn on the police officer to watch that you don't see it. Am I going to listen to what this person's telling me, or is this lashon hara? Is this avak lashon hara? Is this rechilus? What am I listening to? It's then I needed the judge judges, and then you take out the police officer and you tell the police officer, no, I'm not going to listen to that. And then it comes to smell, of course, to eating. I have to judge every word that goes out of my mouth, what I put in my mouth. Do I make the bracha properly? Again, these are the things at my gates. What I can control, what you can control. So we're saying now, if you can control your gates, by you seeing your eyes and your done everyone lekav schus. You work on judging everybody favorably. Whatever the case is, and sometimes it's very, very hard. But it doesn't matter if I can do it anyway. If I can do that anyway, and I can judge that person favorably, what am I doing? I'm turning on Rachmanis for myself, for you, for all of Klal Yisrael, wherever they are. I'm turning on Rachmanis for our Chatufim, our captives. We're turning on Rachmanis for our Chayalim. We're turning on for every single Jew, whatever difficult situation they're in. It's amazing that we can do this. These are the gates that we are awakening with our actions. Judge everyone righteously. Judge us everyone mishpat tzedek, righteous, everyone's a tzaddik. Judge everyone that they are a tzaddik, not tzedek, tzaddik. Judge them as they are a tzaddik. What does it cost you? Anything. It doesn't cost us anything to do that. It doesn't cost you a penny. You will not watch your balance in your bank account go down at all. Nothing. Nothing at all. It doesn't cost us anything. Just let's take this to heart. The Rebbe is telling us if we want Rachmanis, if we want HaKadosh Baruch Hu to judge us with Rachmanis, we judge everybody with Rachmanis. Ratzalai mekol ish yilamed es atzmai lis aneg lishbait es ha'am mishpat tzedek. Judge everybody in a righteous way, in a good way. Lilamed tzedakah. To come to a conclusion of tzedakah's schus al kol zera Yisrael. On every single Jew, no matter what they're going through. We have no idea what their tafkid is in life and why they're going through anything. We have no idea at all. And because we have no idea at all, what right do we have to judge them? We don't have the right to judge them. And then he can awaken up the gate on high. He goes out from the din zakai. Don't we all want to come out of the judgment from HaKadosh Baruch Hu on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Meritus? Don't we all want to be Meritus at the judgment? Whatever way you conduct yourself, that's the way they conducted upon you. How you are. Again, and that's a Gemara in Megillah on Yud Beis Amud Aleph. If you're gonna work on this way and see everybody that they are righteous, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will look at you and judge you that you too are righteous. This is such a beautiful lesson. It's such a practical lesson. This is not hard to understand. This is not hard to understand at all. This is showing us that there's a direct correlation by what we do and our actions down here to the way it will be manifested upon us from up on high. Is that amazing? It's an amazing idea that every one of us can do this. Okay, now this is a lesson from the Holy Kedushas Levi, Zechus Yogein Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. Now I'm going to see one more lesson from the Kedushas Levi, and then we're going to look at a lesson from Rabbi Nachman. All right, here's another one, a beauty. Here's a beauty of a lesson right here. Here, let me make this one bigger. Hold on. Here, let's make this bigger so we can all see it. Here we go. Okay, the pasuk says, Tamim Tiya im Hashem Elekecha. You should be wholesome, righteous with Hashem, your God. Look at this word. Look at these words of the Kedushas Levi. Here we go. Haklalu. This is the general rule. Here's the rule. Ki habayre baruch hu darkei lehetiv ubefrat Yisrael. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu that it's His way, that He wants to do good to who? The Klal Yisrael. Am kiroivai, the nation that He's close with. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is close with us. Shenikram banim lamakei. We are called HaKadosh Baruch Hu's children. That's why the nations of the world love us so much. We are HaKadosh Baruch Hu's children. If we only believe that ourselves. B'vaday ha'ov memalei chesroinai urotzain b'noi kodim sheyistarech. You have a father, and he knows that his kids, let's say he sent his kid away to camp, right? And he knows that the kid is going to be, he needs to spend the money at the canteen, right? Because all the kids get their snack. And they usually have an account, right? So what does the father do? The father sends along money before the kid asks him for it. And he hopes that the kid will say thank you, right? He hopes that the kid will say thank you. Many times I've heard of cases where a father knew that his kid needed money, but the kid never said thank you. So one week, the father decided he's not going to send the money in. He won't send the money in. And the kid went to the canteen. He wanted to get his snack. And they said, sorry, you have to pay for it. No, the money's in my account. No, there's no money in the account. Wow. So what does the son do? He calls up his father. Dad, what happened? I didn't get the money. Dad, I didn't get the money. So the father says, oh, really? And did you get the money last week? Yeah. Did you get the money the week before? Yeah. Oh, then you didn't call me. Oh, now you called me. You didn't get your money, so you called me, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends us all things all the time. How often do we say thank you to Hashem? Simple words. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you to Hashem. It's such an important thing to say thank you. Hakaras hatoiv to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ha'ov memale chesroinai urotzain b'nai kodim sheyitzarech. You have a father that will be memale. He fulfills the item that the son is lacking before he even needs it. Bevadei adam asher yesh lo yamuna kazayis ba'boirei. Bevadei memale lo chesroinai. If you have betachin in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you know for sure that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is there, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give you what you need, and you're always thanking the Rebbeinu Shalom, you're always thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not complaining, thanking Hashem. So bevadei adam asher yesh lo yamuna kazois ba'aboirei, a person that has such emunah in Hashem, bevadei memalei lo chesroinei, of course HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give him everything that he needs. If we realize everything comes from Hashem, that's upon us to realize. Anything. Anytime you get a customer that calls you, it was HaKadosh Baruch Hu that arranged that the customer should call you. Anytime you made an investment and the investment panned out, it was HaKadosh Baruch Hu that gave you the advice to make that investment. Realize it's all from Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. It's not the koyach of oitzim. It's not because I'm so wise and clever do I have this. I have this because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you gave it to me. And say thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When we have emunah like that, always be with Hashem. Always be one with Hashem. Kiloima. Kisha'ata al ze'ah bechina, when you're like this, bechinas hashleimas, sheyesh l'cha emuna ba'aboirei baruch hu. When we have the proper emuna in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, bevada yemali l'cha chesroinecha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will certainly give you what you need. Look at these words. Look at these beautiful words. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells you, judge everybody favorably down here, I'll judge you favorably. Believe in me. The same way, if you believe in me and thank me for what I give you, I'll give you more and I'll give you everything that you need. And people complain they don't have parnasa. People complain they don't have health. People complain they don't have shidduchim. People complain about all kinds of things. If they only trust in Hashem, that Hashem is going to give it to them. and know that the Yeshua is going to come only from Hashem. It's not coming from this customer, that one. It's not coming because of this government's going to send you a check. It's your safety is not coming because of this or that. It's from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When you realize that Yemali lecha chesrei necha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will certainly fulfill anything that you're lacking. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the master of everything. He has everything. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has health. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has life. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has wealth. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has all the food in the world, everything. HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes the shidduchim. The Gemara asks, what's HaKadosh Baruch Hu busy doing? He's being mezavek zivugim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is being mezavek zivugim. He's going around and taking care of and making different matches. He's making the different matches. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will match you with everything that you need. Parnasa, life, nachas, Yiddish nachas from the kids, whatever you need. If you just believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, oz tei deda, then you can know shebevadai im Hashem elekecha bevadai Hashem imecha. If you're going to be with Hashem, for certain HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be with you. Is that so sweet? If you're with Hashem, so of course Hashem will be with you. Tamim tia im Hashem elekecha. If you're always one with Hashem, of course HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be one with you. The same way, if we judge everybody favorably, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will judge us favorably. If we are one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu and trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of course HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be mamale anything that we need. Does anyone have any questions on this? This is such beautiful Torah. It's unbelievable that we get a chizuk. Wow, what a chizuk that we have the power to get judged favorably via us judging everybody favorably. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Okay, let's learn a piece from the Kutei Maran. This is a beautiful piece over here. This is from, no, I want to take the piece out from the Kutei. 1 second. Give me a moment, guys. Give me a moment. Yeah, this is the piece over here. Yeah, this is the piece that I want to learn. This is based on Torah Ches, Torah 8 in Tinyana. We are learning right now, in the morning, we're learning Halacha. We're in Hilchas Netilas Yadayim, L'Seuda, and we're in Halacha Vav. That's based on lesson 7 in Likutei Maran, the second book of Likutei Maran. Now we're going to learn a piece from the second book, lesson 8. Here we go. Tamim Tia, Ki Agoyim Ha'ela Asher Ata Yoresh Oisam El Me'ayninim Ve'el Kaismim Yishma'u Va'ata Loichein. These nations that we're going to be taking over in Eretz Yisrael, these are the nations that were involved in all kind of witchcraft and all kind of avodah zarah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, you don't do that. You don't do that. Tamim imti Hashem elekecha, you be one with me. Don't get involved in all of that nonsense. Says Rabbi Nachman, v'zeh shekasav eitzel isu shalei lidrosh b'chashofim u'me'ayninim. That we can't go and look after the different fortune tellers, right? And these different the crystal ball people. We don't do that. We're not doing any of those things. Tamim tiyeh Hashem elekecha, like we just learned. Be one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Be one with Hashem. Im Hashem elekecha daika, one with Hashem. Hashem elekim zeh bechina shei malei. Hashem elekim is the Shem Moleh. That's Hashem Elokim. Like we say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, Hashem Elokim is Hashem Moleh. Zeh bechina Shem Moleh. Bechinas Oma de Osi. That is a reference to the future world. The Oma de Osi. Shaz Yeh Hashem Echad U'Shma Echad. Like we end the Aleinu every morning by Yom Ahu Yeh Hashem Echad U'Shma Echad. What does it mean? What are you going to say today? Hashem's name is not one? No, of course it's one. But we don't recognize it. We don't recognize it. When Mashiach is going to come, we'll see Hashem, and we'll understand Hashem, that His name, mercy, and Elikim, Din, is really one. We need to wait for that time, but we can tap into it now, is what we're going to learn right now. Rabbi Seinu Zal, Ukemuva b'divrei Rabbeinu Zal, as Chazal taught us and Rabbi Nachman taught us, B'kama Makaymes Ki Oz Yispatel HaTeva, because then this idea of nature will be nullified. V'yis'aneg ha'yedei hashkachosai levad, and it'll be run via HaKadosh Baruch Hu's hashkacha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's watching. Of course, we know today that the nature is run by Hashem. There is no such a thing as nature. When there's a hurricane, when there's any kind of a storm, when there's a tsunami, it was willed by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yes, the scientists say it's an act of nature, but we know it's not. But the world will know. The world will know at that time. And we know when we have Ashkochas Hashem, like it says, Tamid Einei Hashem Elekecha Ba Mereitzes Hashana Anach Rishon and Eretz Yisrael. When we're watched by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Hashkocha, so of course it's Kulei Taiv, Kulei Chesed. Bechinas Olam Chesed Yibana, like HaKadosh Baruch Hu made this world. He made this world Olam Chesed Yibana. Hashem built the world on the platform of Chesed. Because nature hides the hashgacha of Hashem. Why? Because you could say, because the clouds were like this, because this was like that, there was a full moon, or this, that, and the other thing. That's why this happened. So nature is out there. Again, why? Because we have Bechira in the world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put nature there for now, so that way we have the Bechira to choose to recognize that it's really Hashem. Bechinas Elikim Gematria HaTeva. We know that Elikim is the same Gematria as HaTeva. The shame of Hashem, Elikim, judgment, right? The shame of Din, of judgment, that's the same Teva, the numerical value, as the word Teva, nature. Because we know that even Teva, nature, is still run by Hashem. Rak shashkachosai he nisteres v'ne'alemes b'chinas astora b'chinas din. HaKadosh Baruch Hu hides it from us. He hides it from us. Why? Again, so we can have Bechira. Ukishin is gala hashkacha. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu will reveal that His conducting of the world is really Hashgacha, Azayu kulay toiv, kulay chesed, then it'll be, of course, all good and all chesed. Shezeh bechinas chidush ha'olam. That's the idea that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always renewing the world. Like we say every morning, HaMechadesh b'tuvay b'chol yoyim tamid ma'aseh bereishis. Or Chodash al Tzion Tov v'Nisyach Cholona Me'erai Baruch Atah Hashem Yoytzer HaMa'oros. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is constantly renewing the world. Bechinas Olam Chesed Yibana. He's always building the world again anew with the premise of Chesed. Ki oz yisnai Yidei Hashgacha Levad, because at the time of Mashiach, then the world will be run on Hashgacha alone. And then we'll see it's really one. Because really, Teva, nature, is really Hashgachas Hashem. He's running it. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu hides Himself in it, so that we can recognize, to find Hashem. Ki Hashem echad u'shma echad, because really Hashem's name is one. He is one and is one with His name. Bechinas Hashem hu Elikim. Like we're going to say Yom Kippur when it comes to Ne'ilah, we say Hashem hu Elikim 7 times. At that time, when we're not inundated by the world, by the Teva, by the time we come to Ne'ilah, after the whole day that we were connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we could really honestly say Hashem hu Elikim. We recognize that Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, the name of mercy, the name of kindness, is one, is Elokim, is the same. Elokim, Din, is really Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud Kei Vav Kei is really Elokim, it's one. Like we say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Bechinas Hashem hu Elokim, Hashem hu bechinas hashgacha, bechinas chesed, Elokim bechinas din. Okay, chesed and din is really Hashem bechinas hateva. Ula'asid yizkala ki Hashem Elokim ki kulay tayv kulay echad. Then we'll realize that it's really Hashem, it's kulay tayv, kulay echad. Really, it's all Hashem, it's all good. Ki gam hateva tia nichleles b'hashgacha ki kulay chad. Then the teva will be included in the hashgacha, and everyone will recognize it. V'anachnu am kodesh mitzuvim gam achshov la'adabka machshavta ba'olma da'asi. We are now charged with this command that we have to think in this way of the future, that also the nature is all Hashem, and anything that happens in the world is happening because Hashem wills it. Now, here in this world, now, in the present state. That there's hashgacha in this world. This is our main service of Hashem. That we connect this world with the next world. This is our job, to mend the worlds together. How do we do that? By recognizing Hashem in this world. And therefore we're commanded, don't look on the different signs of heaven. Don't go after the witchcraft and all of that stuff. Rather believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that way we can come to this idea of hashgacha. We can understand and feel it's HaKadosh Baruch Hu that's running everything, even now. Bechinas Olmadasi, the future way that we can live and experience it now. Zeh bechinas tamim tiyam Hashem alekecha, shekosav aka azhara shaloi yia becha mo'inin menachish, im Hashem alekecha daika, be with Hashem, bechinas Hashem u'alekim, bechinas Olmadasi, she'onu mitzuvim ledabek atzmeinu, bechinas Olmadasi, bechinas Hashgacha, bechinas Hashem u'alekim, bechinas kulay tayv, bechinas bittul hateva. We have to be mevatel teva and recognize it's really hashgacha, it's really Hashem. Ki hateva hu bechinas elikim, because teva is elikim. Nichlal bechinas Hashem, which is included in the Hashem Yud Kei Vav Kei, mercy, kindness, and care. Bechinas hashgacha, ki kulay echad kulay tayv. Kulay echad, it's all one. Kikol hachesroinais v'adinim, all the things that were lacking and all din. Hein bechinas hateva, that's all teva. Shenikasa bechinas din, and it's coming. It's getting its power from the idea of din. The bechinas elikim. Aval bechinas hashgacha bechinas almadasi ein shum chesron b'din klal. Again, when you trust in Hashem, like we learned from the Kedushas Levi, and you believe everything is going to come to you from Hashem, and you thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're not lacking anything. V'zeh sheniskar Eretz Yisrael eitzel azhara zu v'sola kivishas Eretz Yisrael b'mitzvah zu. And this is the mitzvah of being kovish Eretz Yisrael is dependent on this. This is how we can come to be kovish, to conquer Eretz Yisrael and get rid of all of the rats that are here. Free the country from all of these rats. Get rid of them. Trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ikka kavishas Eretz Yisrael hu al yedei she'anu perusha me'isa zeh. We separate ourselves from this Isser. That when we relieve ourselves, relinquish ourselves from the idea that we are doing things and it's our koyach and we can do things. It's upon us to believe in Hashem. ha'olam. And then we come to the Chiddush ha'olam. Shehu bechinas Eretz Yisrael. That's Eretz Yisrael. Ki Eretz Yisrael hu ayidei koyach masav. Because Eretz Yisrael is from the first Rashi in Chumash. Koyach masav higid liyamai. Koyach masav. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells the world, I made the world. I gave whoever lands to who I gave it to. And they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and I threw them out. And I gave Eretz Yisrael to you. And we need to believe that it's our land. Al Yedei Shem Aminim Ki Hashem Bara HaKol. If we can believe that Hashem created everything, Birit Sinai, and it was His Ratzon that He gave it to them and He took it from them. HaKadosh Baruch Hu uprooted them because they were here in this land and they were not serving Hashem. They were serving all of the witchcraft and they were serving all of their idols. HaKadosh Baruch Hu threw them out. Because when you deal with the ta'evos, when you deal with the disgusting things, and you don't believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, emuna, that's how they were thrown out of Eretz Yisrael. If we want Eretz Yisrael, we need to believe in the Rebbeinu Shalom. It's through emuna. If a Navi comes up to you, it all comes based on the Nevi'im, like we said before. A Navi's job is to reinforce the Torah. A Navi's job is to tell you how to fulfill the Torah, to fulfill the Torah's motion, not to make any changes. That's a Navi sheker. Through Emunah through a Nevuah we can have Emunah. The Kedusha Lifresh Mizumas HaNachash, to separate us from the filth and purity of the Nachash. So this is a beautiful lesson. This is based on lesson 8 in Likutei Moharan Tinyana. Okay, so we learned some beautiful, powerful lessons. If we want to be judged mercifully, what do? Judge everybody mercifully. By of us doing that down here, we're ma'ayra again, the rachamim from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We all want rachamim. How do we do that? We should do that by judging everybody favorably. Again, the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos says, Al tadin es chavercha ad tzadikil l'kaimai. Since you can't come to his place, judge him favorably. We have no idea why he's doing what he's doing. It's none of my business. I just know what I see is not what it is, and it's not for me. I just judge him favorably either way. When we do that, we cause HaKadosh Baruch Hu to be favorable for us. Tamim tiyeh Hashem Elokecha. If you believe you're one with Hashem, the same way a father gives over to a son whatever he needs, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that the child will always have what he needs. If we trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, certainly HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give us what we need. Certainly will give us what we need. Chevra, I want to wish you a wonderful Shabbos, and it should be a lechtige Shabbos. It should be a lit up Shabbos. It should be a Shabbos of Sheket in Eretz Yisrael. Jews should be protected wherever they are around the world, and we should all be zeicha to the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu B'Karav Yameinu Mamish, so we can all together walk arm in arm to Yerushalayim Ir HaKodesh, with Mashiach Tzidkenu together, and we'll see the Bayish Shlishi with our own fleshy Ga'ogen. We'll see Hashem with the Beis Hamikdash with our own eyes. We should all be Zaycha. Thank you, everybody. Kol Tuv.